Hello, welcome to the Dream Team podcast. I'm here with our first ever guest host. It's EvanMCGaming and Kaiya from the EvanMCGaming channel.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome, Evan.
Happy to be here.
Thank
Happy to
you.
be here. It's going to be exciting.
Yes, without a doubt. And I have a bunch of questions for you. So if there's ever a moment where you're like, stop, just let us know.
We've got a bunch of answers.
Yeah,
That was what we
probably.
were most concerned about, is that we were going to start the podcast and the four of us were just going to all like bombard you at the same time.
no,
with four
fine.
different
Go for it.
questions.
Grill us with
I
questions.
already volunteered to fangirl from the background. I can just sit here and smile the entire time, okay?
Yeah, no, it's fine. We're here to answer questions and have conversations. It's the whole point.
But before we jump in,
Why do people talk about dreams, dream matchups? Dream Opportunities is about imagining what you want things to be like. If only the setting were just right,
None of us will ever forget.
the characters just right, the timing just right.
I don't think you can ever do that again at no point in time.
If only it could all be the way you might have dreamed it up yourself.
People perceived us as being superheroes.
We became a team, and that team just stomped on everybody.
This never happened nowhere.
Figured eventually there'd be a movie made about the Dream Team.
This group may well be the greatest team ever assembled in the history.
how you guys doing? How's your week going? It's
Good,
been already a pretty big week for you, Evan.
Oh yeah, with the new video. Oh my, it's been crazy. Last week I lived in this room. I spent every day.
So
Can't even
true.
fathom.
No, literally, like I slept on the couch back there. I'm like, I'm not leaving until I finish the video.
It was crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. It was
Dedication. I
insane.
love that.
And it's the last week of summer for us, so we start school tomorrow, which is annoying,
Wow.
but it's fine. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
And you
great.
You
contrary
had
to
mentioned-
popular belief, I'm not 20 years old. Yeah.
Oh yeah, people seem to think you're like a college student or like a 20-year-old because
I
your
made that
voice
mistake.
obviously.
I made that mistake too. I thought you were in college, and you're like, no, bro, I'm in high school. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
It's so
I mean-
funny when people find that out because a lot of them tend to be like very surprised, and I'm like, well, I've known him for like
Mhm.
my whole life, so it's like I'm not surprised at all. But it's just funny that people don't. Like,
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I
I'm
mean,
not
I was
sure.
able to make it work last year with school, so I'm hoping it'll be the same this
That
year.
was online. It was like,
Yeah, I mean, I was able to work on the video a little bit during class.
yeah.
Still was fine though. Everything was good.
Hey, you got to get it in when you can, right?
Yep, got to take advantage of the situation.
You already
Especially-
thought about planning out like a my school found out about my YouTube channel, like Tommy and Technoblade have those. 'cause-
Oh, that would
'cause
be
you
a
kind of
really
blown up even more over the summer.
yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I was planning like, oh, I'm gonna upload so much over the summer, and I only uploaded twice.
Because they're like movies. They take
It does take a very long time. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Like I thought I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have so much time to just work on videos, and I did, but it took quite a lot of time too. As for like a video like that, I don't know. For my 1 million subscriber special, when that happens, I kind of want to do a video, kind of talking about how I got to where I am. I mean, it's no crazy story, you know.
No, but it's different than a lot of people would expect. You've been doing YouTube for years, and a lot of people don't know that.
I feel like, it was pretty unusual circumstance, because I started coming from like Hypixel, and I was a big live stream. I did so many live streams a week. And so the thought that someone who barely uploaded videos, I was struggling sometimes to get a video out every 1 to 2 weeks, just like of me playing Bed Wars or whatever. To go from there to like now is just crazy. And, a lot of luck and especially luck with thinking of the ideas in the first place. And
part.
obviously time. Yeah, obviously time. Huge thing.
How did you know when you felt like you caught something in the bottle, like you caught lightning in the bottle? What was that moment for you? Because I go back and I look at your channel, and that's one of the things we all have like loved about going back and seeing your growth. Because we saw that video of you saying things are changing, right? It's very infamous.
Change is coming. Yep. That video, it's so crazy to look back on now.
the last sentence of the video is like, "Get ready, because things are about to get crazy," and then the next video has like 10 million views.
Yeah,
literally.
It literally got there yesterday. Yeah,
It's like, well, that worked.
So I mean, in Changes Coming, I kind of talked about it a little bit. It was like, I thought of this, you know, these types of videos. I was like, what if I did like? So I guess it really started with my mentality. Started with I thought about, you know, intros are supposed to be. I was trying to make my intros better. I'm like, they're supposed to be these really entertaining 10 to 15 seconds to hook the viewer. I was like, wait a minute. What if an entire video was edited like an intro? It would take a lot of time, but it would be an amazing quality video. And then I was like, all right, what could I do that would be kind of like that? And then, you know, obviously, I had been using Replay Mod for quite a while, not consistently, but you know, I started. I made like a montage kind of hype up video for a video. I'm more proud of the montage trailer than I was for the actual video. But I used Replay Mod for the entire thing, and it was really hype, and I loved it. So I had a little bit of experience there, and I decided to make a video on Hypixel Skyblock because that was really popular, and kind of how it took over Hypixel. And once I finished that video, it was so different from my usual content, but I was like really proud of it. Obviously, it was like 7 minutes, and it took me a surprisingly long amount of time to make it.
Oh, goodness, I bet.
Which is nothing compared to now, but like,
yeah, absolutely.
But,
like a few extra hours, and now you're like, subscribe. This took me 200 hours.
yeah. I mean, so it was that video, and I was really proud of it. And I thought I want to feel like this about every video, because I didn't care about the numbers on that video. I'm not sure if it did better or worse than average. I kind of forget. But all I know is that I was really happy with the video, and I loved, you know, the comments were really positive. And, you know, I was kind of like trying to figure out what I wanted to do with, you know, my channel, what I wanted my thing to be. And so I kind of decided, you know, I want to double down on making videos, because that's the future. Live streaming will get you so far on YouTube, but there's definitely a cap to that. And I was like, they're the future. They're if I'm going to make this a real thing, it's going to be through videos, not live stream. And then, so I decided to take the whole quality over quantity approach. I thought of the Legend of Technoblade, because I'm like, no one's done like a YouTuber biography on Techno. And because he's had this incredible story, this crazy run of just unreal achievements that he's had.
Crazy events.
Yeah.
Like,
he's so good. And so I'm like, it's perfect. It's perfect for like a long video, but not too long. You know, it was enough to where I was able to cover it in under an hour. And I posted it. I'm like, this is the one, I hope. And then,
look at it now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how it goes.
It was funny. A month later, it had like a couple thousand views, and I was hyped. I had like 8,000 subscribers by then.
You'd get like maybe 1,000 views per video, right? It was like,
yeah, I'd be happy if I got 1,000, just over 1,000 views a video. That was like, I was happy. And now looking back, like that's not a lot for 8,000 subscribers, which is because of the live streaming. A lot of those subs came from live streaming. And then that video, after like a month, I noticed it got into the recommended of one video. And it was Dream SMP, like a clip, you know, compilate, you know, how, you know, channels upload like stream clips and stuff. It was a clip and got in the recommended. And then I'm like, wait, if this gets into the recommended of more videos, it could potentially go somewhere. And then over the next like few weeks, I saw it slowly getting more and more views per day, more and more. And then I think it was November 16th, which ironically is a huge day in the Dream SMP too.
Mm-hmm.
Berg versus Pogtopia.
Yeah, it was the final thing. And ironically, that was the day when it all started going crazy. And then it just caught fire and just went, you know, it was weird because it was a month after it had been uploaded, and it started just going crazy, and it just didn't stop. Like to this day, if I go on to my real time,
like what, yesterday or something?
Yeah. Yeah, if I go,
we're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, if I go onto my real time views, it's done second best in the last 48 hours, second to The Legend of Philza, which is the new video.
Wow.
And it's
So it's even beating out the Dream SMP ones then, huh?
Well, yeah, I think part of the reason is because people see The Legend of Philza and then they go watch The Legend Technoblade.
Yeah.
Usually it is when I post like a Dream SMP video, it still gets up to like 2 or 3. Sometimes like
there was a time where Dream SMP Part 1 and Legend of Technoblade were like fighting for the #1 spot, or is that right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's how I kind of got into it. Everything kind of happened.
It's funny you say that too about the Legend of Techno being like right after the Legend of Philza and the way the content kind of recommends each other, because that's literally what happens to me. Every time you release a video, Evan, my spike in the Legend of Techno reaction gets views for some reason. Like it just like starts,
it works on the reactions too. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I don't know how new new people keep finding that video, but I guess
there's so many people in the world. Like there's always going to be more people that can discover things. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Techno's gaining more subs than are probably watching that video per day. I don't know.
Oh, definitely. Well, I think Evan, like a really great thing that you have with your channel, and I've spoken about this as far as like my personal experience too. You are a great gateway to Dream SMP, to Technoblade, to even Philza now and Dream. Like my very first video I ever watched of Dream SMP was Tommy and It dying in prison. So I was,
oh gosh,
I know.
Crazy.
It's at the end of the movie. I still can't let him drop this. That's like literally the worst spot to come in.
Yeah, that's like watching like the 5th sequel to a movie and then being
it's like watching Thanos.
Why did that happen?
It's like watching Thanos snap before you watch Iron Man.
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah, whoa, that's crazy. Why did he snap his fingers?
I didn't even know about Tommy in It until he was on a Sidemen video. And then that's when I got into Tommy in It. But
yeah, you used to be a big Sidemen guy, right?
I still am huge. I love Sidemen. But after I watched that, like my chat were like, oh, you got to check out the Dream SMP. And then when I saw that Tommy in It video, the #1 comment was like, okay, you need to go back to the beginning, and the way you're gonna do that is by EvanMCGaming. So you are like the way that everybody is able, who either was or wasn't at the beginning, but you get to consume the story of the Dream SMP. And again, just to, not to gas you up, or we will gas you up, but you're an amazing storyteller, Evan.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, literally. And if I were to guess a percentage, I mean, probably at least 10 to 25% of the people that watch the Dream SMP, I guarantee are there because of your videos and getting hooked and hearing the story told by you. And then they go and dive into the Dream SMP and they get hooked on Technoblade, Bad Boy Halo, George, anybody. But it's, again, from your stories that we're able to get caught up and find out about everything.
And I have to completely vouch on that, because that is how my spiral into the Dream SMP was from your video. Like, I literally remember watching... Like, I watched Tommy play Among Us, and they're like, have you heard the Dream SMP? And I was I have no idea what this is. And they were like, you need to watch the complete story and I was like, okay. And then from there, I was like, okay, I need to watch every single one. And like, to this day, like, I am hooked. like I'm hooked.
Like, it's insane. Like, even like a few days ago, it's just like anyone who's trying to react to it, it seems like, chat would just spam my name, which is ridiculous. It's so crazy. Yeah, like, I didn't even know about this until Kaiya told me.
I didn't know until I checked Twitter. Like, I looked up, I saw say, they were like, Dan TDM is gonna watch EvanMCGaming. I was like, what? And then I saw another person go, Dan TDM watched EvanMCGaming. So, like, past tense. And I was like, hold on. So it was like 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I went to Dan TDM's Twitch channel, and his VOD was titled Reacting to Dream SMP. And he watched part 1 and part 2, and I just like loved it. And then the next morning, like, I was like, Evan?
It's unreal. Like, it's so crazy, especially because, I'm a fan of the Dream SMP, obviously. You have to be a fan, to make the videos that I'm making. Obviously, you have to be a fan. Yeah, I mean, my first Dream SMP video that I watched was, it was titled "Dream is a Psychopath" by Tommy in It, and it was his second video of the Disc War, which was way back then. Like,
yeah, and I remember I watched me and Evan. I was talking to Evan, gonna show me the Dream SMP and stuff, and so he showed me Tommy's videos, and I just like loved it, and it was so funny, and I thought it was story with the discs and everything.
Yeah.
And then we watched the Lememberg. So I started watching live at the election arc, which is like pretty. That's like pretty OG in comparison to like where a lot of people started, which is crazy. So
yeah.
Anyway, go back to what you were saying.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just crazy to think that as a fan of the Dream SMP myself, you know, other people are fans because of the videos that I've made. It's so weird to think about that, especially because like, you know, I haven't talked to any of the people on the Dream SMP. You know, I mean, I've donated and they've like responded to it, you know, but I haven't like actually like messaged any of them. I think except actually I did message Michael McChill after he reacted to mine. But
oh, Michael McChill was so nice.
Yeah.
He reacted to the video. He was one of the first streamers to react to it on stream, and it was just like some of the most fun we've ever had just sitting there watching him react because he was an editor for Ant Venom, big channel, and that was just crazy because he was like hyping up Evan's editing. He's like, dude, that shot was insane. And we're like,
editor. Yeah, so it was, you know, it's crazy because, you know, like I said, I'm not really messaging or talking with any of them. I don't really know any of them. And so for people to say like, yo, like for so many people to say, this is how I got into the Dream SMP. This is how I caught up on the story. This is so good. It's like, it's crazy. You know? I don't know what else to say. It's just crazy.
And now like our family members all know the story of the Dream SMP because they all want to.
It's so funny.
Grandma, and she was like, "Wait, Phil saw the Legend of Philza? What did he say?" Which also
it's like my grandma knows who Philza is.
That is awesome.
So
she's always asking. She texted me one day and she's like, "I just watched Tommy skydive," and I was like,
my grandma.
I love it.
She's like, he's funny. Yeah, I saw him jump out of a plane. I'm like, what?
Like she went to his channel and found that video and watched. It was so funny.
I'm so jealous because like I can't even convince my dad, much less like grandparent level, how to do stuff. Like my dad would just randomly text me and he'll be like, "Are you twitching tonight?" And I'm like, "No, Dad, I'm actually doing okay." Like he thinks that it's for a while there he thought I had some sort of problem because he just kept hearing me talk about my Twitch for the longest time. And I'm like, no, it's an online thing, I swear.
Dad, I have a Twitch. Did you see the doctor about it?
Yeah, he's like, do we need to make a doctor's appointment? What are we doing here?
That is so funny. I never even thought about that.
How does that make you feel, though, Evan, to know that the feeling that you get from another creator recognizing you that you might have made a video on or talked about, that you gave that to us, like when you were in our chats and like in our premieres and showing up and leaving comments? Like,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't even feel like real, you know, because I spent, you know, I was on YouTube for 3 years in my own little like corner of whatever Hypixel doing live streams in front of 20-30 people, you know. It was great and small little community, and it had just happened so fast. It's just, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy that people are now so excited to like when I comment on the video, they're like, "Oh my, Evan commented." I'm like, yeah, of course I did. It's like, why wouldn't I comment? You know? It's so cool, especially like, seeing reactions. It's like, you know, you guys are kind of the only time I get to see someone that I don't already know or haven't already told about the video watch the video, and you know, because it's and obviously, you know, the reaction is dedicated to watching the video. You know, it's so cool to see like genuine reactions from the audience, because I don't get to see that. You know, I get comments, right? But I don't get like to see people's face at this part that I've spent 5 hours editing or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the closest you get is really like Premiere Chat to seeing a live reaction.
Yeah.
So seeing people like you guys just represent like the audience. Oh, they liked this part, or maybe they had a question about this part, and it's just a thing like to be able. I don't know. We literally have watch parties of all your guys' reactions. Like we on the TV, we sing along to the hot sauce beats intro. we do back to the channel. You know,
It's so great. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
constantly, just like every time one of you guys premieres, it's just like
we're always looking forward to it.
And then
it's like there's you know there's two excitements. There's like I'm excited when the videos dropped, and then I'm excited when the reactions come out. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it is too awesome.
We were watching Hot Sauce Beats the other day, and he pulled out the Twizzlers, and like it's getting real.
Right, you know it. Twizzler time. It's getting real.
Oh yeah.
They got to give you the bag at some point, Hot Sauce, for real. They got to give you the bag.
I hope so, man.
Underrated.
Hopefully there are.
Let me just say,
hopefully there are our first podcast
so entertaining.
sponsor.
Yeah.
See, I just wish you would have started a month earlier, because I went back and checked like when your Dream SMP videos came out, and if it wasn't for these guys, like I almost would have missed your channel, because I started reacting to the Dream SMP, and I was doing these like I was pulling 3 videos from Tommy's channel and trying to like cobble everything together on my own. And then as soon as I would get done with a chunk, they're like, EvanMC just put a video out. And I'm like, well, I can't react to it because I already know what happened. And then like once you finally got caught up, that was when I was able to jump in. And I'm like, finally, I can do a reaction to one of these. I don't just have to watch it like on my own time.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
And like one thing that I've kind of taken pride in is cinematizing it with obviously the replay.
Yes.
Like I don't know, it's so fun, and it's really cool to see the story. Even because I don't really get to see the full video until I'm actually done editing it, because it's such a big video that I edit it in tiny little segments, and maybe I'll go watch like a 2-minute clip. But I don't get to see the full thing until the final watch party, which is usually the night before. And, so I'm seeing it for the first time, like the night before I'm uploading it. It's crazy. And it's, as a fan of the story, it's really cool to see how all of the shots flow together and all that stuff. Even though I got all of them and edited them all in, it's like a new experience. It's kind of weird.
It is.
But, I don't know. It's just crazy.
Evan, how many times did you watch your MCC montage clip before it aired?
I don't know an exact count, but most days, multiple times, sometimes multiple times in a row. That is probably my favorite thing I've ever edited.
Oh my god.
It was so good.
You showed it to me for the first time, and I was just like mind blown. Like I've seen you edit, and I've seen like you do all this stuff, and I was still just like.
Yeah, I mean, I was just really proud of that. Like, it was 1.5 minutes, I believe. There was probably 200 cuts. It was crazy. I don't know. I didn't count them up. I didn't count them up. It was definitely over 100 though. Like there was maybe not 200. 200 might be a bit of a stretch. Maybe. I don't know. But like definitely over 100.
When you're in the zone, you don't keep count.
Yeah, no, but the toughest part with that was like I recorded Phil's 40-minute MCC video, and I had to find all the clips. I had obviously there's not enough clips to have a unique clip for, there's not 100 unique clips. And so I had to, obviously reuse some, but I had to do it in a way where it didn't feel like you already saw it. It flowed together, and then, I had to come like parts of the song. Montages are something I've just started to mess with the Legend of Philza, really. I mean, the closest I've got before that was in part 5 of the Dream SMP, Fall of Dream, in the war preparation sequence. It was a really cool song. Kaiya found it. I had a different song prepared for there.
Okay.
And she just went on to like recommended an Epidemic Sound, which is what I use for music. Yeah. And she clicked on like the first song, and it was perfect.
Yeah, so I just clicked on this random song, and I was just kind of cool, and then I had like the beat drop, and I was like, okay. And then and I was like, Evan, you for a montage? He's like, no, here. And I was like,
yeah,
wow. So, and then he tried it, and it was like he used that in the Legend of Philza too, and it's just
it happens a lot.
Good song.
When we're doing soundtrack, which is usually so I guess the process that I kind of go through is I'll do like research, and then I'll write the script, then I'll record the script, and then I'll edit the script, and then I'll do soundtrack on top of the voiceover. And so with soundtrack, that's what she helps me out a lot with. She's, obviously more musically talented than I am. And so sometimes she'll listen to a section, or I'll tell her like what kind of song I want there, and she'll be like, this song will work. And sometimes I'll be like, no, it won't. It's not gonna. What do you mean? That's not gonna work there. But I mean, I guess I'll try it. And I try it. I'm like, this is perfect.
You're like, oh, okay. I see you, sister.
Like,
I see you.
I'm like, you're kidding.
How
is this perfect?
The best feeling is when I'm just like, I know this is crazy, but hear me out. And then he like tries it and he's just like,
yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah.
So funny.
I would say that's definitely the composer part that I've noticed, and I love that about the videos. I love how well the music fits with a lot of the cinematography and how it captures the mood.
Something we really focus on is choosing like the right song for the right section, because it really does make or break the video music part of the video.
100%.
Like Wilbur blowing up Lemamberg or Dream blowing up Lemamberg would not be the same without that song where it's like dun 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 dun.
Without a doubt.
Like music creates moments. That's really what it is. You know, montages especially, you need a good song for a montage. Like probably especially montages.
Yeah.
Luckily Phil had a lot of songs that were kind of intertwined with his channel that were perfect for montages. Stuff that he's used for montages, and you know, stuff that I thought would fit perfectly. And like as for just a voiceover, you know, music creates the mood. Obviously, you know, my tone of voice can shift to create, you know, suspense or whatever, but really the music carries so hard. And so like a lot of, you know, that's why it takes so much time to make them, is because, you know, I got to make sure that the script is, you know, it expresses what I'm trying, the story or the part of the story that I'm trying to tell accurately, and how I want it to feel. And then I have to find the perfect song that is the right length, the right speed, the right, you know, volume. Some have like crazy instruments or just super epic, and it's like not an epic moment.
A lot of them like so a lot of songs are like really good, and then they randomly get like really epic. Done, and we're like, oh, okay, that's not gonna work actually.
Because obviously, like, you know, movies,
the volume spike.
Like movies and shows have the luxury of having like a composer make all of the soundtrack exactly for them. But you know, I don't have the money for that, and I don't have really I just can't do it. You know, probably the time either. That would take a long time. But you know, I've gotten lucky with some of the songs I've found at certain times, and music really does make the video.
Is there anything that's hit the cutting room floor? I mean, I'm sure there are some parts, but is there anything that you really like wanted to have in a video that just because of that, like you couldn't find either the music or, you know, the script didn't match up? So there's something that like you shot that you love that you just couldn't put in because it didn't work.
I don't think so. I think the main reason for that. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I think the main. It's not all perfect. Usually, I go through where if something isn't going to work, I'll adjust it instead of, you know. But a lot of the reason why that hasn't happened is because I'm telling the story in such a summary type of way. If I cut anything out, then something's missing. It just doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
So like, if something isn't going to work, like a song isn't going to work, I mean, definitely has happened with songs. I've loved songs in certain positions, and then it's not going to work because it's not long enough, or it gets epic at a random point, like Kaiya said. Sometimes it can be fixed with cutting the song differently. I do that all the time, where I cut up the song, chop certain sections, and, you know, double them to make the song longer.
The wonders of
Yeah. But like sometimes I'll love a song and I'll be like, oh, I really want it in this spot, and then it's just not going to work. But as of like content wise, you know, because of the nature of the videos, it's not like a movie where a scene is just extra and doesn't really need to be said. I guess I've cut out a few lines before, you know, that were maybe dragging on a bit long or repetitive or something I already said, but nothing too huge, really.
That's so cool, because like my background is in news, so I always think that, you know, because when you go out to get like a news story for something for TV, it's all about the B-roll. Like you're getting people, you know, loading horseshoes into a box from 20 different angles just in case you need it. Like you do all this stuff from a million different angles, and 99% of it never gets used. So it's always nice to hear about like your process, because it's a completely different way of storytelling.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, now that you say that, there have been a lot of the times I'll record multiple different camera angles of certain shots, and then I'll try them over. Sometimes I'll do like 3, 4, even 5 angles, which takes quite a bit of time because I have to like line them all up. Like maybe I'll think of an experimental angle and I'll be, ooh, this might work, but it also probably won't. And sometimes it's great, sometimes it looks really bad in relation to the other shots.
We should talk about that one shot in prison where it's Tommy getting up off the floor.
Oh yeah, no, that one was.
Okay. I can tell a little bit of this story. So basically,
make it quick though.
Yes, I will. So basically, it was like I was like 2 a.m. or something like that. The video was finally done. And Evan was like, what were you like? You were like uploading it already.
Yeah.
You were uploading it already, and then our friend was like, "What if you had a first-person shot of Tommy getting up off the floor?" And Evan's like, we'll try it. And he was like so confident it wouldn't work. And then within like 30 minutes, like they had it. And then Tommy does this thing where he does lore is whenever something happens.
He took his breathing from later in the clip and just moved it. And
he kind of goes like right into the camera, and so we
oh my god, yes,
like that, and put it over, and it ended up being like the best shot of the entire video. So we had to stop and upload it again. So
yeah, lots of all-nighters the night before. It's just kind of like a tradition at this point.
I can't even imagine in the process of uploading the video and then having a streak of inspiration and then taking the whole video down just like
last minute as it gets, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doesn't get more last minute than that.
So Evan, what's your process in choosing your next project? You know, kind of like the egg, it wasn't necessarily a continuation of the complete story. It was more of a side story, or you know, your different Legend series. So how do you know what your next process is? Or if you do, I don't know if you're ready to say it. Or
you actually took the words out of my mouth. That is exactly where I was going. No
lie. Wait. I have to mention this because Hot Sauce, you just did it again. Hot Sauce, his canon power in our group is he's a mind reader and he works with fire. But the thing is, he often does actually like read our minds, and he will like say things that we were thinking of saying before we even say it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I literally was going to ask him, like, do you know what you're going to do next? Like, what do you have?
And then he starts crazy. Hot Sauce the mind reader. That's great.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry.
So I mean, it's interesting because with the Dream SMP videos, I wasn't worried about what was going to be next. I knew I had like 5 or 6 videos lined up. I mean, part 6 I actually decided I was going to do like a few days before I released part 5. I thought I was just not going to do a part 6 until more of the story happened, and then more of the story happened in like 2 days before. But so I wasn't really too worried about what I was going to do next. But I did brainstorm a lot of ideas. I just threw everything onto a document, every idea that I had. And then I kind of picked out my favorites, including the Legend of Filza. And the egg one was kind of just out of nowhere. I saw a bunch of comments about it, and then I did a poll, and it blew everything else out of the water.
Very highly requested.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to know about the egg, because a lot of people were either confused or passionate about the story and wanted to see how he would tell it or whatever.
So, I mean, I think the main process is just brainstorming, you know? Lots of brainstorming, especially because I'm very paranoid about not having not necessarily not having a video to make, but not having a really, really good video that would live up to the last one, you know? Because it's tough. Like, it seems like, you know, I've been kind of liking every video a little bit better than the last. And it's like, when is there going to be this feeling, you know?
Never.
And it's kind of, you know, it's a little bit stressful sometimes. Is the next video going to be am I going to be able to top this? You know, I've been, you know.
There's no ceiling when you're EvanMCGaming.
Thank you.
Yes.
I do have my next 2 videos planned out. The only reason I'm not going to announce what they are is because I don't want anyone stealing the idea.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, I would love to just talk all about what I'm gonna do, but like, you know, then someone's gonna go do it before me, and even if it's, you know, not as good, then there's gonna be this whole question: did Evan steal? Did he steal his own idea that he announced? You know, and it's like no, but people who who didn't see the announcement or it would just be a mess. Which is why I'm pretty hesitant, especially because the next one is gonna, the next video. I can tell you a little bit about the nature of the next two videos.
Okay.
So the next video is going to be shorter, probably around 20 minutes. I say that it's probably gonna be it's probably gonna end up long.
Yeah. It'll be like 40 minutes. It's like almost an hour.
Yeah. No, I have no idea how long it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be shorter though, and I'm kind of pushing it back a little bit because school's starting up. I want to give myself a little bit of time to breathe. And also I want to give myself more time to work on the video after that, which I think is going to be one of my best. I'm not, it's not it's not really a Dream SMP one. It's not really even about any like massive creators like in my spotlight. It's kind of a like a different story kind of that spiraled off. It kind of branched off the side. And it's like its own thing. And I'm excited for that one because there's going to be a lot of freedom that I'm going to have in how I tell the story and where I go with it, and a lot of that stuff. So I'm excited for that because it's going to be like my, I'm not going to have necessarily completely concrete stuff. I can kind of expand on it a little bit more. And so I want to give myself time to really get that one because I'm excited for that. And I hope it does well. I mean, I was nervous. Really nervous for the drop of the Legend of Philza. I knew it was my best video yet, but I was worried because I'd only done Dream SMP for 7 videos before, and I was like, are people gonna click on the video? Did they only subscribe to me because of the Dream SMP? Or are they gonna, and I'm more confident now. I'm more I guess comfortable branching out a little bit more with how this this last video is doing. It's made me confident that I can go and do some different stuff, whatever I feel is going to be the best video to make.
Evan,
and yeah.
Evan, you said something there that I know 100% all 4 of us resonate with. So I think the Dream SMP in general reactions have helped out our channels tremendously, and you and all 4 of us are part of this Dream SMP community in different sections, but all 4 of us also have issues with branching out into different reactions. YoBGS just made a Tommy Innit tier list video, and it's still amazing. It's Tommy Innit related, but it's not necessarily what a lot of people expect, like a Dream SMP reaction or reaction. So it's we have that exact same feeling when we're branching out, trying something new, and you're like, God, are my subscribers gonna like it, or are they only wanting, Dream SMP canon lore just happened, here's my reaction, be happy.
I think it's it's really tough for a lot of creators. I feel like most creators can completely resonate with this. Is you don't want to be stuck in a certain area, because if you get stuck in a certain area, it's not always a good situation. And I knew I can't make infinite Dream SMP videos, especially to the quality that I want to make it.
Nor do you want to.
I could have done the Dream SMP story for dozens of videos if I wanted to. I could have just made them shorter. I could have cut videos in. I decided I didn't want to do that because I wanted to be able to look back on it and be like, yes, this video was amazing. I'm super proud of it. But doing Dream SMP videos for, I don't even know. I started like
first one was uploaded, I think, on
it was New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And so I'd been doing it pretty much, I think, like 7 months. I mean, actually, it's been 8 months as of a few, because I hadn't uploaded the Legend of Philza days ago. And so I was really nervous, understandably nervous about how a different non-Dream SMP video was going to go. People are like, when's Dream SMP Part 7 coming out? And I'm like, not now, not the next one. And so, I mean, I've got some other ideas about the Dream SMP that I can do. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't go so long with the Dream SMP that I would be unable to branch out with other stuff. And I wanted to really show people that I'm not just I can't only do the Dream SMP. I'm not just the Dream SMP, you know? And I wanted to show myself that too, because, you know, the Legend of Technoblade was a great video. I'm super proud of it, but I knew now I could do much better with all the new stuff that I've like learned over the Dream SMP videos. And so it's really a major relief that video did not tank.
Well, that was a good segue, because that was something I was going to ask you, is how much does that number at the top of the algorithm thing, you know, when you see it in your YouTube studio, how much does that actually influence the decision of videos and like the topics you might get into?
I think it's less the number and more the quality of the video. I want to make what I'm most excited to make and what I think is going to be the best, or whatever combination of videos will lead to being the best. And I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with the number, obviously, because, you know, it seems like the better video, the better it does, kind of thing, obviously, because of like retention and stuff like that. But like my whole thing with making this kind of content in the first place was I wanted to make stuff that people would enjoy. Whether the algorithm enjoyed it or not, I didn't want to have to care about that. I wanted people to like what I was making, and I wanted to like what I was making, so that even if a video did, you know, tank, I would still have motivation to keep making more videos. And, you know, there's a reason why I spent just as much time on the Legend of Technoblade as, you know, the Dream SMP videos, for example, or the Legend of Dream or whatever, before anything had worked out, you know, because I had 8,000 subs. I was averaging at, you know, 1,000, sometimes less than 1,000 views a video. And still, I put in all of that work to make that hour-long video for myself and for the people watching, so that I could be like, if this video doesn't blow up, I know I made a great video. You know, that's kind of what I wanted to do.
Well, hi, I'm the people watching, and I love your video.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
Love what you said though too, because that is such a big part of the advice I give to other content creators that are still starting and still getting into it, is you got to make videos that you yourself will watch. You love, like, whenever you make something and you release and you set it to render, you want to be excited about watching your own video. And I can't imagine how many people are not successful who actually really watches their own content and loves their own content, you know, just as much as they love other people's content.
And the crazy thing about it is, like, I feel like me now am just getting to the point where I love my content. Because, like I said, I posted my first video 8 years ago. I had no idea what a reaction was, none of this. And, like, just constantly, like, I was just like, okay, what am I doing? Like, I go back and watch my videos and I cringe. I'm like, what is this? Like, delete this? Like, I want to throw this away. Who was that person?
Oh, yeah.
And then you don't look back on your first video and think, what was I thinking?
Me, I do it every single day. If people are commenting now, like,
that's a good sign that you're improving. Yeah,
and they go, who's watching this in 2021? I'm like, I hope nobody's watching this in 2021.
Part of the reason why I haven't unlisted or privated my first video is because if people go back, they'll laugh at it just like I laughed at it. You know? Just like I laugh at it now. You know, I don't want to hide my past from people. I want people to, if they want to, look back at where I started and see how I got to where I am.
My favorite thing is go back and watch Evan's voice get deeper. Just like, you know, it starts out super high and you just skip a few months and then you just hear it get down and you're like, whoa.
I'm glad I didn't start making the content that I did, because I would have been a squeaker. Just I would have been like, Technoblade never dies. You know,
and then I would have been sitting there saying, "Oh," I would have been sitting there saying, "Oh," the whole time.
That comes with experience, though, in a big way, because, like, I see that, you know, from people that, like, we'll have as guests on the radio show. The first time people come in, like, it doesn't matter. You could be a 300-pound dude with the deepest voice in the universe. The first time you get on a microphone and you're live on the air, like, you know, they're immediately like, I like to go to the, you know, I'm here to promote the fair. And once you have them on a couple of times, they're like, oh yeah, I remember how to talk like a human being. So you almost have to, like, every creator has to get those first few videos out where they're just learning how to be a human being again, basically.
Yeah, I know going into my first video, you know, I loved watching YouTube, and you know, I loved it. You know, I watched a bunch of people, and I was always like, I tried to be a personality when, you know, I probably should have just talked normally. You know, it took me a while to realize that the personality that I need to be is myself, not some version of me that I think is, you know, is going to be better. Yeah, I didn't need to make funny jokes. I didn't force funny jokes all the time. I forced so many funny jokes in my first video. They were not funny. They're funny now because they're so cringe. But like I thought I had to force. Yeah, I was trying to be hilarious and stuff. And you know, I had to learn that it just comes naturally. You know, and obviously, like, one big thing that led to, you know, stuff like my documentary voice and my presence on screen and stuff, and why I can live stream, not be today, is because I've live streamed so much on YouTube. So I feel like, in a weird way, everything that didn't work before contributed to what I'm doing now. You know, I can look back on the videos that I made and the streams, that seeds that grew into the content that I make today, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Looking back,
I can definitely agree with that. Like, I go back and, like, I tell you all this all the time. My first video, like, I was like recording on my iPhone 4, like literally like my iPhone 4. And it's like I watched, and I remember when I got my first MacBook, and I'm like shooting on the MacBook, and then it's like I proceeded. I'm just like, okay, you know what? You tried. Like, you were doing something. I don't know what
you got to try.
But you are doing something. Look at you now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Were you proud of those first few videos? Were you?
When I made them, I was proud of them. I edited, like, I actually edited. You know, I was proud of how. I mean, I'm still like, you know.
You know, my first video, I was extremely excited. Like, I remember waking up to my first video, and it's like, to this day, it's just like nauseous thinking about it. I don't know why I did this. But I woke up and my video was at like 5,000 views, and I was like, holy shit, like, I've made it. I'm sorry for cussing.
Fine with us.
I was like, oh my God, I've made it. And then, like, the next day, the video was at like 10,000 views. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm on to something. Then it just like spiraled. And then here we are now.
Here we are now.
And I'm just now getting recognized for doing something that people just started doing recently, and I was doing 8 years ago.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you are proud of those first few videos, you're having fun, I think that's the most important.
Having fun is definitely the most important.
Yeah,
I wish I didn't delete, because, like, my channel was not just a reaction channel. And that's the thing that, like, so many people don't understand. Like, I deleted like hundreds of videos before I started reacting. Like, I used to do skits, and like, I see people doing videos that I used to do back then. I'm just like, I was doing that. Like, I remember doing this, and now you're doing
so cool. That's so cool.
And I'm just like, holy crap! Like, I used to do lyric breakdowns, and now they call them, like, people do it now, and they're just like, oh, this lyric means this. I'm just like, I was doing that in like 2013. Exactly. I was doing that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool.
I got a question. It's sort of related to like content creation, but kind of not. You know, when somebody is your age and say they're really good at football, colleges kind of are like, hey, you're really good at football. You wanna come hang out here? If somebody's, you know, killing it test-wise, usually they're like, hey, you want to come here? You're really smart. Have any schools seen kind of what EvanMC is doing, and they're like, you know, we got a really good film program. Do you maybe want to come here and get a degree? Or is that just because I feel like being so young and having so much success, that feels like something that at the next level, they would want you to be a part of their program?
That's a good question.
I haven't had really any colleges like reach out like with an offer like, yeah, you should come here. Probably because one, I don't know how many college professors like watching the story of the Dream SMP.
Surprise! There's some people I'm sure writing some theses out there. Thesis
but
about
also, you know,
Theseus.
I'm not really. they might see it and be like, oh, this person would be great to have at our college, or maybe they'll think I'm older because I don't say my age like in the video, or also
yeah, you're like, welcome to the SMP. By the way, here's my age.
By the way, any colleges wanna
Hey, if you're a college professor, I mean,
yeah, no, like I don't know. It's a lot different than, you know, with football there's like scouts, right? And I just think that YouTube is so foreign to a lot of like schools and stuff that, you know, they don't really look there. They look in like other film programs. However, I do take a video production class at my school. The teacher does know about my channel. And yeah, and he thinks it's awesome, which is, you know, that's the closest I've kind of gotten. Yeah, pretty much.
It just seems like one of those things, and I guess I'm more criticizing the schools than I am you at this point, because it's like that seems like the kind of thing they would want to build on. Like there's I guess not saying your age is a big part of that, but it's like there's a young talent that if the right people can help you develop it, it's like there's no limit to the kind of stuff you can make.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a huge thing. My dream obviously is, you know, to go into filmmaking once, you know, if YouTube, obviously I want to do YouTube for as long as it keeps working, you know. Maybe one day I'll transition away from Minecraft content. Who knows? I'm not exactly sure what the future is going to hold, and I'll figure it out then. But obviously, you know, if I had to choose my career, it would be like a cinematographer / maybe editor. I mean, editing, I love editing, but like really, it's more the vision behind the editing. You know, I can do the editing, but I can't do the editing without the vision. The vision is really it's my favorite part, is making my vision become a reality. And I feel like that's more of a, like a director, cinematographer role. And so I guess that's kind of like, my dream job, I guess. But you know, that's obviously a lot different than Minecraft. And I feel like the experience with that kind of stuff will definitely come with time. And especially if I choose to go to film school, you know, all that kind of stuff.
So is that in your cards, do you have intentions on after high school going to film school, do you know?
I'm not 100% sure. Because again, if YouTube is going so well, if it just keeps going how it is now, so much.
Edit this part out.
You're getting her caught up.
Edit it out.
She'll, you know, who knows? Yeah, but I think just, you know, 2 years is a long time. You know, it's a long time to see how YouTube is going, to figure out where maybe I want to go in the future, and just to figure stuff out, because a lot can happen in 2 years. It hasn't even been a year since I uploaded The Legend of Technoblade. A year ago, I was, you know, just uploading Hypixel videos and live stream. It's, you know, there's still a long road ahead. And, you know, obviously, you know, I don't want to make any huge decision before I know what, you know, what things are gonna be like. But yeah, I mean, definitely the dream is to do YouTube for a living, and then eventually maybe make movies. I don't know, something like that.
That'd be awesome.
That would be
and
awesome.
I'm sure I speak for all of us when we say you have us rooting for you. So no matter where you go, we're behind you.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
without a doubt. This was I feel like one of the best things that could have happened for all of us as content creators is to be able to even pick your brain like this and get your insights and what that even feels like and looks like, because you literally took an idea and you filled the void of a community without even realizing it. And I think that was a real key to your success. You kind of took that story that was kind of fragmented, really, not even kind of, it was very fragmented. People are telling me, they're like, watch the Dream SMP, and I look it up. I go into YouTube Dream SMP, and I get 1,000 videos, and I'm like, okay, well,
that's exactly how it is. Yeah,
you know, like,
it's really tough to figure out where to start. And obviously, I was lucky to have found the story at the start, so I kind of like, you know, if I would have found it later, if I had joined later, my catching up phase was one Tommy Innit video. A lot luckier than
his first few with you and just loving it instantly.
Yeah, and it was before all the like lore was officially lore, you know. Yeah, it was just it. And so like I got very lucky. If I hadn't found the Dream SMP when I did, I would not be anywhere close to where I am. It's you know, it's just it's all crazy, you know. It's just I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. It's insane.
Like we wouldn't be here if you didn't post what you posted. Like I don't feel like I still don't think like
to wrap my brain around. That's so tough to think about.
Like we met and are where we're at because of your videos. Like you created this.
Yeah,
like,
it was
100% true.
I literally pinned it.
Like that is insane.
100%. I literally pinned it down to that watching that first part. Because after I watched that first part, the algorithm recommended me Yo. It recommended me Yo, and then I talked to Yo, and then after I found Yo, it recommended me all, you know, Joey and Hot Sauce and all these different people. And this literally, our whole podcast probably wouldn't have happened without you. Oddly enough.
That is crazy to think about. Like I remember I watched your first reaction.
Yes.
That yours was might have been the first one that reacted to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? People are reacting to my video?
That was crazy. And then we watched it, and it was just so entertaining. And I was like,
yeah, this is so cool. I was like, what? I couldn't believe someone was reacting to my, like, it was crazy. It was crazy because, you know, me having been 8,000 subscribers literally 2 months earlier, like a month and a half earlier, I was at 8, and to have someone, especially Nate, I think back then you had like I don't even remember, it was like 30,000 subs. I was like, are you kidding? That's crazy. And then I remember the first time I watched Hot Sauce's reaction, I was laughing the whole time. And then I showed my dad, and he was cracking up too. It was awesome.
I remember we were like on vacation and stuff, and you were watching Hot Sauce Beats, and I was like, oh, what are you watching? And you're like, Hot Sauce Beats, he's reacting.
I was like, I gotta show you.
I gotta show you this guy. Like, he's so funny. And then I watched I think it was Fall of Dream was the first one that I watched. And I remember I was just laughing so hard. We loved that, like, you made your show song with like the Hot Sauce finally here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a sing along.
Yeah,
everyone.
I mean,
like everyone.
I think it's really cool. Like, you guys are all reaction channels, and you know, as you know, reaction channels, you're reacting to like the same content, and it's just so cool and so crazy how you have all become friends when, you know, in a lot of other spaces, people making similar content would be competition. And I think you guys lifting each other up has really helped, like, actually grow your guys' channels.
Yeah.
Especially with
that too. Like, honestly, because we all have our own different vibes, and I think that's what makes this so unique. Is like I'm extra, like I'm literally over the top. Like I know that I'm probably like the loudest one in the group, but like that's what makes you me. Like that's what makes you me. You have Hot Sauce. Like I love it. And then like Nate's editing is insane. Like I don't care what he's watching. Like
Nate's awesome.
I will watch for the editing. Like
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like lots of editing on a reaction. Like I was like, dang, for a reaction video, that's a lot of like
the boom
editing
sound effects when it gets dramatic.
That's so awesome. The facial expressions.
I put a lot of time into the reactions because I have that same mentality as you of like, it has to be entertaining. So I'll go back and I'll watch a frame and I'm like, is this entertaining enough? Can I make this more entertaining? Add this deep boom sound effect. Add this glow.
Like, I remember I saw like you got a community post. You're like, I'm sorry, I scrapped a reaction because it wasn't good enough. And you know, that really shows a level of dedication, you know? When you have the ability to look at something you've made and say, no, this is not as good as I want it to be. And then, you know, to not upload that, you know, or cut out that part or something, or redo it or whatever it is. I think that's, you know, that's really, really cool.
Well, and something else that's been really like cool about this community, and I don't know if you know this, Evan, but it's been this way for kind of a while. Because like when I got into doing Minecraft reactions sort of around the time Dream got in trouble, because I was a speedrunner. And so everyone was like, oh, you're talking about different speedrunning stuff. You should talk about Dream. And at the time, the community was like me, it was Super McGreg's, and it was Foolish. and we were the three people. Yeah, we were the three people doing reactions, and Super McGreg's would comment on my videos. Foolish commented on some of mine, and like back and forth. And it was that same vibe. So then Foolish kind of blew up. Super McGreg's has blown up as well, and then Nate, Joey, and Hot Sauce came in too. And it's like I kind of felt obligated to keep the good vibes going. And Nate's like the nicest person ever. Nate reached out to me and was being super cool. And so like it's just so awesome to have that mentality.
Podcast.
He'll like retweet. He'll retweet Kaiya stuff. You followed my cousin on Twitter.
Yeah.
He was like hyped. He's like, what? Nate followed me on Twitter just because I commented on one of your things or whatever.
Yeah, so tonight
so funny.
Showed me the clip of Nate being like, "Oh, maybe Kaiya's gonna be on the podcast." And so, honestly, though, if Nate did not say that here, because I was like, "Oh, it's Evan's thing," you know, and so thank you so much, by the way. That is awesome.
Well, the thing is this: I went back and I've watched part of your older videos because I wanted to get to know EvanMCGaming, and when you go back, Kaiya is a fixture in a lot of the older videos. So I kind of almost feel like. Not only that, but there's this really funny video, which I have to bring up, where you end up losing a very, very particular game, all right? And Kaiya ends up technically owning the channel. So
that was funny.
It's kind of canon. It's kind of canon that she owns part of the channel.
Yeah, it was said like.
It's also, if we're going there, it's also canon that KaiyaMCGaming has 90 billion subscribers. I put that in.
That is so funny.
I put that in. That was funny.
What can I say?
Yeah, kind of epic.
See, that's got to be the 1 million sub video though. The Legend of EvanMCGaming.
Man, I don't know if I want to call it the Legend of EvanMCGaming because then it feel like I'm just hyping myself up, you know.
You're such a legend.
I don't know. I'm thinking of maybe calling it something like My Story or something. I don't know. Because, you know, as much as the Legend of EvanMCGaming would be, you know, it's iconic to my channel. I don't want people being like, oh, he's calling himself a legend. You know, it's like I wouldn't do it because I'm wanting to call myself a legend. I would do it because, you know, it's kind of like the Legend of Technoblade was the first one that blew
formatting.
Up. Then, you know, it would be full circle moment for the 1 million sub special. But, you know, I don't think I'm going to do that as much as it would be, you know, really cool for full circle moment. And people who like know the stuff would not question it. They'd be like, yeah, you know, it's a series, you know? But yeah, I can't bring myself to do that. It's going to be, yeah. Go ahead.
Evan, here's a question for you to kind of something you said there. And this also is something that we talked about during our last episode. And this is actually a question I wrote down, but dealing with cancel culture. So I know all four of us obviously have reacted to your videos, and we get comments from people that are like, oh, but, you know, he missed this part. Or I know, like, before you did a video on the egg, you know, I know because I've read comments on your videos, people were like, you know, why is Evan not talking about the egg? It's so integral. And so how do you deal with people that are experts on the Dream SMP and critique your video and essentially tell you that, oh, you should have written it this way or that way? Or
I think it's like, luckily I haven't had too much people like try to cancel me. You know, I feel like with my type of content, you know, it's nothing really controversial, nothing really crazy. Craziest thing I had, of course, like you were bringing up, a really good point, is those comments of people being like, you missed this, you left this out.
Yeah,
you
or saying that you're biased towards Tommy's perspective.
Yeah, tons of
yes.
There's some stuff saying like, oh, he's assuming stuff. He's biased towards this stuff. And I think it's easier for me to just kind of brush it off because, you know, I know what I'm doing. And I know I chose to leave that stuff out because if I kept everything in,
oh goodness, yes,
it would be extremely long. It's the same reason why Avenger. I'm talking about Marvel. Marvel Day, I guess.
We love them. We love Marvel.
Oh yeah. It's the same reason, like in a Marvel movie, why they don't show like Iron Man getting up every single morning of the day. It's like that's not exciting. It's like, you know, it may happen, but it's not necessarily relevant to the overarching story. And a lot of stuff happens in the Dream SMP. There's streams, hour-long streams. If I did a play-by-play of every hour-long stream, it would be ridiculous. No one would watch it because my videos are like the reason people watch my videos is so that they don't have to watch every single stream, so that they can get the story in a digestible kind of, I mean, now it's like 4.5 hours of content, but I mean, it's such a wide, crazy story that, it kind of has to be that way. And like, I know in my heart that I decided to keep that out video entertaining, and because it wasn't necessary, like 100% necessary. Some stuff I did leave out, like some early on people were like, why did you leave out Phil saying to Wilbur before he killed him, you're my son? And I'm like, I left that out because I didn't want to have to explain the whole family dynamic thing on the Dream SMP, because one, some people, it's kind of more on the role play side.
It's jokingly canon.
Yeah, it's like it's more on the it's more on like the role play side. And new people to the Dream SMP might be scared away by that. They might be like, oh, but even disregarding that, it would just be a random bit of information to explain that
it doesn't have any direct effect on the story.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some characters' motivation, but some stuff I choose to leave out because it's not 100% necessary, or I don't feel like it would contribute enough for it to be like worth a mention, because the video's already long. They're already pretty long. Like part 3 was over an hour, and there was plenty of stuff that people could have been like, why'd you leave this out, And so I think my goal is to create is to take the story and interpret it and tell it in a way that makes sense, and that doesn't have a bunch of random bits of information to where people have to decide what is relevant. I want to do that so that people can just watch it and understand it. There's not just so much information that they're overwhelmed, And like, there's one more side to this, which is people saying that I'm biased towards people's perspectives, which I am, but that's the only way to tell the story. And I make sure whenever I'm biased towards the perspective, I'm always biased towards the other perspective at some point. For example, during part 4, Exiled, I tell Tommy's side of the story. And the reason I tell his side of the story, it's not factually correct, but it's factually correct that he was thinking that it was factually correct. It's just storytelling. I'm telling it from his point of view, and then by telling the other point of view, Lemamberg, viewers are able to piece together what's actually fairly easily, that Dream was manipulating both sides into thinking that the other kind of hated them. And it's, if you're watching and paying attention to the video, you can pick that up. And in like Imprisoned, I told Sam and Dream's point of view, which was a bit controversial to some people because they knew that Sam and Dream don't stream their perspectives for main lore. Sam streams, but like not for main lore. And so when I was talking about like how Dream, what he was thinking at certain points, people were like, he's streaming and stuff. And I mean, part of it's because there was gaps in that part of the story that when you're watching the streams, you're kind of filling that in on your own with your own imagination. But I wanted to kind of go my own direction with it. Same way with Limbo, how I created my own Limbo in 6.
Yeah. I love that.
I love that so much. I was so proud of that. But I think I wanted to and all of this stuff. Let me add. Everything that I cut out is, everything that I cut out isn't necessary. Like, it doesn't have a direct impact on something that can't be explained with anything else. So like any event, I'll just like, there's a clear linear path of events. Nothing just happens out of nowhere. And when I'm biased towards people, again, I always tell the other point of view. Dream and Sam, opposite points of view, both biased, but together you can piece together the truth. And also with the assuming, everything is based in fact. I say Dream has this escape plan, which never panned out, but it is canon. He did say, "I have an escape plan. I have a plan," and I'm like, he was thinking about his revenge. How he's gonna kill everyone. when he got out. And in one of the prison visits, he says that he's like, I've been thinking about the revenge, and all that stuff, and he's burning the clocks, and how Sam was kind of closed off from the rest of the server. There was a thing with Ponk, a whole thing where he like took Ponk's arm or something. And I kind of
that's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like
crazy.
It didn't connect back to the story, so
And also, just like, whoa, just in the middle of your video, it's like, yeah, he took Ponk's arm.
So I tried to express the falling out he had with his friends through, more vague kind of interpretations. So, like, people in my heart, I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing it, and the best I can do is just try to explain to people my intentions for doing that. Obviously, can't make everyone happy. When there's an audience, you're not going to make everyone happy. It's like impossible. I have my saying again, not calling myself a legend at all, but my saying that I had is all the legends have haters.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Look at Joey and the haters he's been dealing with.
Look at
Joey's a legend.
Definitely not a legend.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's tough, but you got to realize haters are normal. People get jealous. They have their own points of view on things. If they don't line up 100% of the time, some people choose to take out that anger, especially through the being behind a screen and having the ability to say whatever you want without anyone coming face to face and talking to you. It's just the nature of the internet, and I think the best you can do is take constructive criticism and move past the hate. It's easier said than done, but I guess that's the best way to deal with it.
Well, I think that is an excellent way to kind of wrap up what we were basically doing here with this entire thing that we got here. We got to plug into your brain, figure out the matrix code to unlocking the algorithm for us all.
Yeah.
And talk about some great things with your channel, talk more about kind of what is going on, what you might see coming without giving away too much of the sauce, which is great. Kaiya, I would love to ask just before we end off here, for yourself and your musical career, what we might have to look forward to in the next couple of months.
Everything. Trust me, it's really good.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for asking. I am working on an EP. It's titled Flashback. Basically like a mini album. For me, it's gonna be 4 songs. And I've been working on a lot. It's the genre is pretty much acoustic guitar and vocal harmony. Explores vocal stacks and all that, and it sounds like a choir of me's singing behind me.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing, and I have plans for after that, but really, like, genuinely so excited to finally put it out, because I wrote the songs in December. And I've just been spending so long trying to make them as good as possible, and very, very excited for that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool how we're actually so similar. Like, I'm doing my video stuff, and she's doing her music, and it's the same idea, a ton of time and making sure that everything is perfect. And it's really cool, especially to see, to hear the finished products and stuff that she's been working on. When she releases it, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
I love that.
Thank you.
Especially because you guys are all music people.
Music people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you already know I'm reacting to it as soon as it drops for sure.
That's so cool, man. That is so cool.
Crazy, because genuinely, like, that would get it so many more views. It's ridiculous. Thank you guys so much.
And thank you for joining on this too. Because we know when we were talking about this, Nate brought having you up, and I know that you're also an integral part in Evan making his videos and the decision process as well. So seriously, thank you so much for joining along on this. And you're both our first ever guest hosts, and we will forever be in debt to you guys for being the first ones on here.
Yeah, no, I think it's I had an amazing time. I think it was really cool to talk to all you guys. It's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I really like interacting with people in my community, and in just I guess in my community. That's about it. Yeah. And that's I reached out to Nate, asking if he needed a guest, if he wanted to have me, because I thought this would be a really good chance to get to know some of the people who have been getting to know my content, and also to really show more of myself to the people watching.
Yeah.
Because I'm not showing a lot of myself, my personality in the videos. I'm showing my personality through the editing and through the writing. It's a different way of showing it. But to actually have a conversation is something I haven't gotten to do yet, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
Well,
okay, I have a question.
Oh.
I have a question.
Oh, you have a question.
I have a question. Why the name Hot Sauce Beats?
Who else hot sauce makes beats? That's a wrap.
Well, my originally the only thing I did on this channel was make beats, and I used to post my videos on Facebook before I started the YouTube channel, and I personally love hot sauce.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I always had a bottle, and I still have the bottle, and it's no longer red. It's a nasty. Cause I can't get rid of it. It's canon. It's it's chunky. It's anyways. I don't want to make you guys sick, but it was always sitting on my desk in the Facebook videos, and my best friend, he's like, "Bro, you gotta name something with hot sauce," and I'm like,
"That's so
great
idea.
idea. How about hot sauce
That's
beats?"
Great.
That's it right there.
Yeah, we watched one of your old beat making videos, the river beat making.
Oh my gosh.
TV, and we were just laughing the entire time. That video was so funny.
They are cringe.
Great. It was great. It was great. And why the name YoBGS?
So I actually haven't told anybody that.
You save it for like a video or something?
So it's honestly based off of there was a radio station near me, and they had a segment every week that was called Hey Tony, and they would just ask him questions. And my old channel names were just like these long things. And as I started getting into Twitter, I'm like, nobody wants to type out, speedrun gaming by me or whatever. So it takes up too many characters. So I was like, I need something short. And I was like, this guy goes by Hey Tony. And then I went by Yo. And then the BGS is something I'm going to save for another day. But it was basically just ripping that guy off and being like, this is a way, and I couldn't believe it. It was available on Xbox Live. It was available on Twitter. I'm like, it's a 5-character name. I'm taking it.
That's cool. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's fire.
Wait, Nate, why the name Nate Alyn?
Huh?
Yeah. Why do you call us aliens in all of your videos, man?
Well, it's basically just my first and my middle name put together. That's really it. Alyn is literally just spelled like that for my middle name. And then the Nate Aliens thing became a thing because I was trying to come up with something that was catchy that was like Nate Alynians or Alyn.
It definitely is. I was like, that is genius. I love it.
And then it kind of just played on words. So, and now
Sauce
it's like.
Gang is great too. What up, Sauce Gang?
Oh, yeah. Sauce Gang is fire.
Sauce Gang.
So good. Backup
singers are where it's at.
Yeah.
Facts.
I don't got a name. I don't got a name.
MC Gamers, obvious.
Oh man. I don't know. I guess so, but.
Well, hey, Evan, before we end this, so obviously you got Legend of Philza out. Everybody, go to Evan's channel, subscribe, check out his newest video, Legend of Philza. Is there anything that you want to plug, or I don't know if you watch Hot Ones, but he always ends it. He's like, say something to this mic, to this camera, that camera, that camera. Do you have anything you want to? Is there anything you want to say?
I guess just my YouTube. I spend a lot of time on my video, and it would mean the world to anyone who hasn't already seen them. Obviously, or who hasn't seen the new video. There's probably a lot of people who haven't seen the new video. To give it a chance, give it a chance. That's all I ask.
Well, thank you very much for being our first host on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
We greatly appreciate you, and thank you.
It was a great time.
This was amazing.
So fun. Thank you, guys.